5. Invisible 4. Invisible 3. Invisible 2. You're pointing at me. Welcome to Fix-tion
Welcome, everyone.
Well, I thought I was doing the...
We haven't really rehearsed this, so we're just kind of making it up as we go along.
Oh, goody. Anyway, welcome, everybody.
Hello, everyone.
Hi.
Well, welcome to the very first episode of our new podcast show.
That's right.
Fan Fiction.
Brand new fan fiction.
It's spelled Fixtion.
That's right.
And why is that, Matthew?
Well, that is because, Dan, we are going to go around and go to our favorite books, video games, movies, what have you, anything with fiction in it, and maybe spice things up a little bit.
And for season 2, we might do fan nonfiction, where we just rewrite history altogether.
Absolutely, just everything's changed.
Yeah, just it wouldn't be better if this,
Right.
But that's for season 2. Let's not get spoilery here. So, like he said, my name is Dan. I've been nerding for quite a few years now.
Only a few?
I dabble in video games. I think comic books is my big thing.
And Blue Magic.
I'm a DC fanboy. I like the Marvel movies. I'm not going to get into that whole argument right off the bat.
You all can't see this, but he's also wearing a Marvel shirt at the moment as well.
I respect all of them, but my home is at DC Comics. I have to admit it.
And that's great because as myself, I'm more of a Marvel kid myself. So, we're kind of like the odd couple in that kind of sense.
It's true.
And where I'm more video gamey, Dan's more movie and books and things. So.
We complement each other. As in, your eyes are amazingly blue.
Oh, stop. Go on.
No, this is where you say something back.
Oh, right. Your glasses look really cute on your nose.
Oh.
Especially when you push them up in that weird anime way. Stop.
I just watched a lot of the Ghostbuster episodes, so I got the Egon push going on.
Oh, I don't want to give any movie spoilers. I won't go there.
Yeah, let's moving on.
I was going to make a new joke, but never mind.
So again, like we said, thank you guys so much for joining us for this first episode.
Happy anybody's here.
Happy everyone's here. We our kind of intent of this podcast is, like we said, to take our favorite nerd lores, our favorite stories, plot lines about everything, and just it's the what ifs. It's the wishes that we had at the end of playing these games, reading these books, watching these movies, that we wish they would have just delved a little bit more into backstories. Or what if we just change the narrative of the story altogether?
Or even little quest lines too, because sometimes you get to a thing and there's a little side quest that you're like, wow, that's a head scratcher. Why is that a thing?
Yeah. So, and I think if you guys are ready, the very first subject we really want to tackle today is a tried and true classic. And
we're talking about Battleship.
It's no.
Oh, no.
Guess
board
who?
games?
No.
Okay.
We want to talk about Zelda.
Oh my goodness!
I think our first episode is going to be a what if about Zelda.
For me personally, what if for once Link wasn't the actual hero?
What if there is a plot outside of Link saves Zelda? Call me old fashioned.
You know what? How dare you?
What if they merge Zelda with Farming Simulator?
Oh my goodness,
that'd be great.
Make your own Hyrule field.
Let's talk about a couple minutes. Let's spend some time. Matt, what's your history with Zelda?
Oh goodness, I started from the very first one, from the old NES days all the way up till now.
Did you have an NES?
Absolutely.
I'm so jealous.
You did not?
No. Growing up, I think the very first system we got was a Super Nintendo, but that was only when the Nintendo 64 came out.
You didn't buy A Link to the Past when you had that Super Nintendo?
I had $2, so no, I didn't buy anything of that. My dad had this rule where we would only buy the system that was before the one that just came out, and he always said well, you want the previous system because it's got all the games. You don't want to have to wait for any games. And
technically he's not wrong.
It made sense, and he's the games are cheaper. No, this is great.
I was about ready to attack your dad, but then I was like,
you want an
no.
So everyone's playing Mario Kart 64, and I'm over here with Super Mario Kart.
I want to go fast, guys.
Yeah.
Slow down.
Ugh, all the times I've spun out in the mud pits. When you hit the deet.
Oh, jeez, yeah. When you're trying to do the speed boost in the beginning and then you mess it up.
Yeah.
And then the person next to you is like, what's happened? I'm like, I don't know. The thing just doesn't work.
Yeah, it's my
Stupid
controller's
controller.
broken.
Yeah.
I usually get this every single time.
And that's before Dark Souls when we threw it at the TV.
And so we never really had a lot of cool hip games. So I never played any of the Zeldas. until
Man, yeah.
64 when we finally got that.
Right.
And I got to play Ocarina of Time. So Ocarina of Time is my first Zelda game.
It's just a shame nobody knows what that one is because it's such a dark horse of the series.
No one ever really talks
And
about
see, Dan,
it.
like that's such a shame because you never got
franchise.
You never got to play the masterpiece that is The Adventures of Link, the second Zelda game.
God.
In its overworld map and RPG system.
I don't even know that much about Zelda, and I know, was that the second one, right?
Oh, yeah.
That everyone still kind of poo-poos on.
Oh, no, they talk about it. They love it. It's so amazing.
Is it?
Please write in the comments how much you love it.
Okay. So real quick, before we get into like kind of the story ideas that we have and things we want to see, Matt, real quick, name your top 3 Zelda games.
Oof.
From the very beginning all the way to now. Top 3. If you had to play these on a deserted island, for some odd reason you have electricity and a TV, what 3 games do you bring with you?
So top 3, I feel like that's 2 separate questions. So the top 3, like, if I'm on a deserted island, obviously Breath of the Wild, because there's limitless stuff you can do. But if I'm just in my like house or basement, like
that's a good point.
Because I mean, think about it. If you're on a deserted island and you have all this spare time, Breath of the Wild's gonna really eat that time up.
That's true.
And you can literally do tons of stuff and just do ridiculous
you could be like
things.
A master chef.
Right, and you just climb. There's a mountain. I'm gonna go climb it. Like,
okay,
it's like Skyrim and like Elder Scrolls and stuff. Like, you can just spend hours and days and lifetimes
a really good
on
point.
it.
So outside, okay, maybe we remove being on a deserted island. Let's just say, what are your top 3 games that you've played? I think that's a little bit more fair.
I think mine's not going to be like the norm because like I got a lot of nostalgia and other things in there. So A Link to the Past for the Super Nintendo is like the one I played the most, and that's the one I love because the Dark World and all that stuff, and it's the first one that like I don't know, just felt epic. Okay. And then like the first one obviously is my second place because spent a lot of time just roaming around clueless because they don't tell you anything. You're just like, here you go, walk around, little guy.
That's it's dangerous to go alone.
Correct.
Got it.
The first thing is you spawn, there's a cave, there's an old man. You're like, well, that's weird.
I've you know what? I've actually jumped in when I got the Switch. I got the emulators are kind of built into them. So I've like danced around a little bit with those because like, you know, I'm always like, you know, these games have like such a fan base. Oh my God, they're so beloved. And like, I'll play them. I will get like probably 10 minutes in and I'm just bored. But I think it's just like I'm used to games being more advanced and everything.
I think a lot of people have that problem though. Is like anytime you go backwards compatible with any games, like any genre, like
Well, even like because I know you love Mega Man. Mega Man.
Oh yeah.
Everyone here is Matt McQueen. Talk to him about Mega Man till the end of days.
Oh,
But even when I try and play the earlier Mega Mans, I just get frustrated after level 2, and like I just.
Well, yeah, I mean the difficulty spike is there to keep people playing it because you know they didn't have content. So they're like, hey, let's just make the game longer by making it hard, and you die a lot.
Yeah.
I mean, they even have an easy mode in the newer ones like 9 and 10. Yeah. So. But no, same with the old Zeldas too. Like, unless you had like the manual, you had no idea what was going on.
Okay. So wait, so you got your top 3, right?
Oh, right. Third one would have to be Twilight Princess, which I know a lot of people are like, I don't know if I like that one, but you know, it's beautiful. It's dark. It's gritty.
I think it has its cult following.
And like I said, one of the best aspects of Twilight Princess is Zelda and Link's relationship. They're essentially business partners.
Yeah.
They're not even like in love or anything. They're just like, hey, happy to see you. Oh, good. I'm glad you're here. And that's about it. We both need to kill Ganon. Cool. Shake hands.
And I also think it deserves a little bit of like respect when it comes to how different it was. I mean, introducing the crazy side universe, right? I mean, Link's a wolf for at least a certain part of it, ridden by
some weird little goblin girl.
Like, you know, like so.
It introduced the Twilight world.
It definitely deserves the respect of like them taking some chances and taking some risks for the storyline.
It's a beautiful game with beautiful scenery and story, and it's nuts. And you get a fresh new villain with Zant.
Okay.
There's a new villain who's like a wizard.
He's the chameleon guy, right?
Correct.
Okay.
Didn't you play that one?
Nope.
Okay, let's hold on a second. Which ones have you played? Let's start with that.
Okay, well, this is going to be a short conversation. Look, I enjoy video games. I love talking about it. I like watching people play video games more than I enjoy playing video games. But I have played Ocarina of Time.
Okay,
and it's probably a game that developed my childhood. Like it was like the game that I became obsessed with the Scatollas and all that stuff.
Oh yeah, that was a fun side quest.
I played Breath of the Wild, like I think everyone in the world has. The game's beautiful, gorgeous, and start to finish.
I guess you could say it breathed some breathed some life.
You did great. That was great.
We're gonna fix it in post.
Yeah, we'll fix that in post. It's great. But the closest thing to like I think what I would call a masterpiece when it comes to open world gaming. And I have none others. Those are the only two I've ever played.
Really? You haven't played any?
Everyone always told me to go play Majora's Mask.
Oh, yeah.
But I didn't.
Majora, you want to talk about the darkest Zelda game? That's your kicker.
Yeah. Well, that's the one that like it's the stages of death, right? It's the 7 stages.
Correct. There's like a sub theme of like the grieving process.
Grief and guilt and all that other stuff.
There's a lot of weird. It's a beautiful game.
And those are the type of games that I really want to see Nintendo. And not to get off topic, but like those storylines that are removed from Link saving the princess,
right?
That are removed from
you want
just the lather, rinse, repeat kind of like find these people, they give you this, you use this to go do that. You know,
you want something more than the world's at stake.
Yeah,
everything doesn't have to be like end game Avengers. It needs to be like
or like in the end game shouldn't be I defeat Ganon to save Zelda.
Right.
That's what I'm looking for.
Because it's been done to death.
It has been done quite a few times. Now, like I said, I think they do a good job of they do a good job of changing the gameplay to keep to players entertained.
Right.
Like, you started out top down and then Ocarina of Time opened the open
whole 3D world. There's an up and a down.
And so then as the graphics get better, and then the new one with Breath of the Wild, like it's so open.
Oh, yeah.
But they removed the dungeons and now we have all these puzzle shrines. And
yeah. That's kind of my biggest complaint with that one, too, is like...
You're not a big fan of the shrines?
Oh, no, I like the shrines. I just... being a fan of the very first game, I would love if they would just, I see a mountain. There's an actual cave in this mountain. You can't tell me there's no caves. There's like hardly any in that game.
In the first game,
I want actual dungeons.
In the first game, you never even really saw a mountain. Like, in the Breath of the Wild, like you were like, that is a
excuse me, Daniel. I'm going
mountain.
to push my glasses, my make-believe glasses up. There was Death Mountain. That's
sure. And it was like 17 blips and chips.
Yeah, because there's restrictions. That thing's older than dirt.
Like, when you look at what Breath of the Wild is like giving you now, I think like you saw this giant camel thing jumping around, shooting electricity out of its hooves.
Dude, let me tell you a scary story about the first game.
Tell me a scary story about the first game.
When you in one of them dungeons, you go to that final room, and there's a 3-headed Hydra dragon shooting flames at you. You gonna think twice before you go toward that door.
And all you got is a wooden shield and a boomerang. That is fear right there.
And maybe a candle.
And
a ladder you found in some other place.
And it's not even lit. You got to use the Hydra flames just to see that there's a freaking Hydra in there in the first place.
You ain't got no matches.
How's
that candle? Oh, it's a magic candle. I forgot. My bad. Everything's like, magic.
What if it's dangerous to go alone? Here's a mag flashlight. No sword.
That might actually help for a few of the dungeons, yeah.
So, I mean... But let's just be honest. As long as they take away Navi, we're going to be okay.
Oh, jeez.
I still like the, hey, listen, that still bothers me to this day.
Just a few more lines of dialogue recorded by that voice actor would have really went a long way.
What if she went in there and like she was sitting and they're like, we need you to say like, hey, listen. She's like, hey, listen. Perfect. Like she feels like she nailed it. She walked out of the room and
cut print.
And then in the like recording room, they're like, no, that was really good. I think she got it. Like, and then that was it.
Can we just get like a few, like maybe a sup?
we just replaced the voice actor altogether in the new game. It's like, sup, I'm Navi.
Can we get like a Waffle House waitress to come up and be like, that's the new Navi? Like, all right, what do you want?
Yeah,
Link?
what do you want?
If she doesn't have a cigarette somewhere, I'm not buying it.
It would be like, yeah, just a big drag. Hey,
how do you want your eggs?
Hey, you gotta shoot him in the heart. And do you want ketchup on your hash browns?
You're gonna buy something, or you're gonna leave this dungeon.
You can only have so many coffees, and then you gotta go.
That's right.
No, we don't serve scotch and water here, okay? All right. So let's move on a tad bit. So for the next little bit, let's focus on what the antithesis of this podcast is going to be. Antithesis.
There you go.
And let's talk about the story here. I know we've mentioned time and time again about how we're looking for something new. We've promoted how much we liked Majora's Mask for something different.
Mm-hmm.
We've promoted how much we enjoyed the evolution of the gameplay in these last couple of games for giving us something new every couple of games. But let's focus now on story. What if I was the head of Nintendo? Hello, I'm the head of Nintendo.
Hi, head of Nintendo.
It's nice to meet you.
Pleasure's all mine.
I want you to come up with something new story-wise that can keep the original fans who aren't looking for too much of a change, because let's be honest, it's a tried and true tradition, but they do need something surprising and fun. Matt, what is your idea?
So one thing I would like to take from another series and genre that I think would work great in the Zelda one is Dynasty Warriors.
Okay.
For those of you not familiar with the Dynasty Warriors series, it's where you play as a larger than life historical figure from Chinese history during their Civil War period, which they had like 18, 20 of those.
Okay.
But essentially it's like one of their famous generals, and it's all embellished and stuff. However, one of the, I can't remember which one exactly, it was either like 5, 6, or 7, one of the later editions. They gave you a chance to play as one of the little soldiers in said army, and you worked your way up the ranks. I think it'd be a great idea to play on the villain side for once.
Oh.
Maybe you play as a moblin, making up the ranks in Ganon's army.
I was going to say, because you mentioned Dynasty Warriors earlier, and they did Hyrule. Like, so I was like, Matthew, do I have a surprise for you? They have a whole game like this.
Get out.
But you are saying, this is
I'm
interesting.
Let's play on the other side.
You don't want to be Link.
No. Maybe Link's the bad guy. What's that one?
Link's the bad guy.
What's that one movie you were? What was it called? The one with Will Smith and the zombies.
I Am Legend.
I Am Legend. It's kind of like the comic book version of that, where he's the bad guy and they're the
Okay.
Let's flip the script a little.
Now, do we play as one continuous person the entire time?
I would, if I were to do it, I would say you pick your character in the army, whether it be the skeleton, their name. They all have weird creature names.
A goblin and all this other stuff. Yeah.
Starts with an S.
There's some werewolves in there.
Right. Like the knights and all that. Like, you just pick whatever actual character you want and just build up your way in the ranks. And eventually, like, you come across Link, and that'll be the oh no moment.
I mean, I think if we're going to do this, which I'm completely down for, I think the whole point of the game would be to avoid Link.
That'd be like a horror game almost.
Well, and maybe not a horror game, but like
that'd be kind of cool though.
Maybe like a tower defense to it. But like you build up your base camps,
right? And
every once in a while, Link will come in and just decimate for whatever reason. And then depending on
like a force of nature.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's kind of what he is at this point.
He does spin around like a whirlwind.
Yeah. He's basically a living whirlwind.
The man is a living tornado.
I don't know. That'd be a really fun kind of thought of it.
It'd be a cool little thing. Or if, for once, let's, I don't know if anybody's familiar with the Suikoden series.
I'm not.
It's an old JRPG.
Okay.
Essentially.
That stands for Japanese RPG, right?
Correct. Actually, it's for jalapeno RPG. Very spicy stuff.
For a second, you had me. I know. Like, ooh, what's a jalapeno?
I saw you almost be like, I saw your eyes light up. You're like, excuse me?
That's fine.
Can I order one of those? But no, in the third installment of that series, which is a wonderful series, definitely play it. Highly recommended. It actually breaks the game up into 3 different storylines.
Okay.
So some of the story you see similar parts, but other ones you see other parts you don't see. I think that'd be a great thing for Zelda. Maybe play as Ganon for a little bit. Play as Zelda for a little bit. Let's spice it up. I'm so tired of playing Link. I love them, but man, and I get there's like some games like Wind Waker where like it's a title. I'm like, that's still playing as him though. It still looks like him to a degree.
Sure.
But let's make Ganon playable. Let's make what do they call the Goron?
Yeah,
playable.
That'd be fun.
Mix it up a little.
Well, so here's my idea time.
Oh, let's hear it.
So you had just mentioned that you said Link is a title, right? Mm-hmm. And I think we've already established, or the timeline has established, that there's numerous Links, right?
Yep.
Why does he always have to be a human? Like, so if I have to play as a Link, why can't a Goron be a Link? Why can't
that'd be kind of funny.
Who are the people who live out in the desert? The Gerudo. Why can't there be a Gerudo Link? Why can't there be who are
Zora, the fish people?
The fish people, the bird people from Wind Waker. Like, I would love to see, or if you really want to have, spoiler alert, I saw the new Spider-Man. Actually, when this comes out, it's probably already on DVD, and I can feel free. So, like, what if we're at a time where, like, you can blame it all on, like, a equinox or all the stars align, right? Where
the third moon of Jupiter is in Saturn's backyard.
What if we make a game where, for the first time a different, not a human, Link emerges, but what if all of them happen at once? So it's a 4-part game where you play as a Zora Link, a Goron Link, a Gerudo Link,
Oh
and
my goodness.
the bird people Link.
Yeah.
I mean, aim big. Like,
That'd be
it's
crazy.
the first game you play as a Link with no Link whatsoever. Maybe the point is the human Link has disappeared and not like he's gone.
Or you can even take it up a notch. Like each of these tribes of different types of humanoids actually have like a different. Because I mean, if you think about it, most of the Links in the actual timelines and stuff, it's more of a legend.
Sure.
That's why they call it the legend kind of thing. You know, wink, wink, nudge, nudge.
Yeah.
But what if each of these tribes have their own legend version of it, and then they just anoint one of their own as that?
Okay.
And you
So
don't even
it's
have
like-
to, just bypass the equinox, make it just part of their actual legend, quote unquote, and boom.
Or okay. So,
Open title
So
sequence.
Ganon's here. Okay, here we go. Plot.
Yeah,
Ganon. We start the game in a Ganon ran world. Okay.
Okay.
Ganon controls everything.
Pretty
It's
much
been like
as
that
normal.
for years, right? Everyone's oppressed. Everyone's terrible. Everyone hates everything, right? And
So a Monday.
and so, Mondays.
Monday.
And so then the legend or prophecy foretells. I mean, we'll just have Morgan Freeman come in and
The prophecy foretold. of a
prophecy
Link.
foretold that 4 people, like 4 kids born of this day, can be the new Link.
Okay.
And
So it's a birthday thing, like it's a present.
possibly.
Okay.
And so then you play as the 4 people each, and you don't know who the Link is.
Ooh, I like it.
And so you don't
Little
know
bit of
which
clue.
and you don't know which one it is. Each one gets like, a couple levels, level them up. And then you get to decide which one's the Link.
Ooh, I like it.
So you get to find which one's your favorite.
It is very much like Clue. It was the Goron on Death Mountain with the battle hammer.
Yeah. I mean, I think that would be fantastic because
No, I agree. I like it.
another thing I would love in these games is, and I don't want to use the word customizable because of course you get to pick your own sword and all this stuff, but like,
To a degree, yeah.
but not equipment customizable. I want the game to be a little bit, I want to have more control over the story because
Okay.
it's very linear. I mean, there's side missions and everything.
Right. It is very railroady in the sense that, like,
And-
here's your main quest. But I mean, a lot of games are like that. And
But,
I
like,
get it.
I think with something like that, and I'm sorry, Zelda fans, if this is not what you want to hear.
If it's
the
not what you
re-
want to hear, this is a great time
The
for earmuff warning.
replayability outside of New Game Plus, like once I beat a Zelda game,
Mhm.
I can put it down for a couple years.
You know, I feel the same way.
Like I beat it, like I beat Breath of the Wild, and then I was just done. It's like, oh, you want to play it again? I was like, oh no, I'm good for a good long while. Like, what if
Right.
we did something that gave you a different ending? If you did something different,
So what you're kind of thinking of, I would assume, is you played the Fable series, right?
yeah.
Because Fable kind of had
Well,
that.
I played
depending
Fable
on
3.
Good enough.
Yeah.
They all kind of have the same premise. Like, depending on your actions, yeah, you get like one of 3 endings.
Sure.
So yeah, you could do that. I think you could go a Fable route with Zelda, and I think it'd be great.
Oh yeah. Or what if? Okay, here we go. I got
I'm
another
picturing
idea.
it.
What if Link doesn't get the wisdom, power, knowledge? Right? Those are the Triforce.
Oh man, you're so close.
No, wisdom,
Please put your hate comments in the comments section.
wisdom, power, and oof. What's
Oh
the third
man,
one?
you got 2. You got
Wisdom, power,
wisdom,
and-
power.
It's not justice.
Oh no,
or
I'm not
nothing.
going to help you. I want you
Hope.
to. I want you
Is
to
it
struggle.
hope? I feel like, oh my god.
Hope. What is this, Captain Planet? Heart.
I know hearts. Yeah. Wisdom, power.
Oh man, we're gonna get so many dislikes.
No, we're doing fine. We're doing good. Gosh.
Oh, I love it. I love
Thanks
seeing
for
you
not
switch.
helping me out. Courage.
Oh, there we go.
Courage.
Hey,
Thank
I was
you.
gonna say I give you a hint.
But like, what if we have a game that like, what if they're mixed up?
What do you mean?
What if Zelda gets power?
Oh, there we
Like,
go.
What if Ganon gets
wisdom
courage?
or courage? Yeah.
And then what if Link get like just something?
So it's funny you mentioned that. Like the game kind of, or not the game. There was actually the cartoon series too that was super popular. Just kidding, it wasn't. That kind of touched upon that, where like Link, or I think Zelda had to borrow courage for a little bit from Link because
had to borrow.
Well, he
like,
was-
tell me
yeah.
they just keep the like it's in their back pocket like a spare fiver.
So usually in the series, like courage is kind of like embedded on your hand. for some reason. Like that's how the first 2 games are. Like you get a weird tattoo on like a certain birthday or something. That's how they know you're like the hero.
Okay.
Anyway, video games.
Yeah.
But like the cartoons kind of touched upon it a little bit. That really bad one from like the 80s or whatever. But no, it's very. I would definitely love to see them actually switch it up because, like you said, things can be switched up because Ganon is usually like in the lore like every X amount of years. Like a male Gerudo is born and he's supposed to be the bad guy. And like, yeah, what if he got wisdom or courage? Because courage is kind of a fluid thing. It kind of flows around.
And I hate that I'm just like spitballing things. What if?
I am too because it's getting everywhere.
Here's another what if I want to throw at you. What if the intent of the game was to save Ganon from the power Triforce?
Oh,
what if
redemption.
What if the point of the game is like Ganon's actually a good guy? And you know the expression absolute power corrupts absolutely, right?
Correct.
And so like they see like he used to be an actual like we'll keep him as a politician and he used to be great and you just have this story where like it's kind of overdone but like he needed to do this so he had to have the power to save the people but the power corrupts him. So the point is to remove the power from him because the power is actually the corruption, not the person. So your intent of the game is to save, and so it's not even the Legend of Zelda, it's the Legend of Ganon because that's who we're trying to save. And he's the person who we think can actually save the entire world for whatever reason with his ideologies. But because he had to dip into the power, he's corrupted. Boom. Boom.
Yeah, I agree.
And
once again, that kind of fits into the Fable 3 kind of lore too. Like you were talking about, like you have to make sacrifices to be a king because that's all what Fable 3 is about is being a good ruler. But to be a good ruler, you have to make some bad choices, just like in real life. You don't get to just be, oh, look, I did good things all the time. No, it doesn't work out like that.
I played Fable 3 and I just remember I was like, I'm just going to choose the good thing the entire time.
Nope.
And at the end, they show you that statue of what you do. And my person has a halo, but he looks crazy because he's just like, everyone love me. And it's like, how much money do you have to save everyone? It's like, I have $0.
By the way, turns out money saves people.
Yeah, that's the one thing about Fable 3. It's like capitalism is definitely
capitalism.
Needed. It's like you never raised your rent at all. It's like, yeah, I'm a good person. Like, no, you're a poor person.
I did done good, right?
Yeah, no one likes you.
No, but I think that's a great point though. Like for once, let's stop saving Zelda. Let's save somebody else.
Yeah.
Let's use somebody else as a thing.
And to keep going with this, why isn't Zelda a playable character?
Yeah, I've always wondered that because, like, even like back to the cartoon again. There's even episodes where she's the main thing. Like, there's one where like Link's dead throughout the whole episode, and literally it's his ghost bugging her to go save him.
I mean, Breath of the Wild is Link has been in a coma for 100 years. And we just fast forward the entire 100 years to when he woke back up.
Happened.
Like she's been holding him off this entire time. She's been doing all this stuff. For no, that's not important. Let's wait until he wakes up and then we'll start the game. I was like,
that kind of did blow my mind in that one.
You could start the game and play as her and just have the part where she traps him.
Right.
And then, so that way we get the essence of her power. And
I really hope the new one touches upon that a little more. But,
And they do the flashbacks of like all that other stuff. But like, I want to see the power that she has because we never get to see the power of wisdom.
Not to a super deep dive.
Well, not that we never get to use it because
she uses it sparingly here and there to do certain things. It's
always just to contain. It's always like I use it to contain power,
or like to do soothsayer type stuff and look ahead, or
But she could easily be like the healer or something like that, or just something else.
I mean, these Triforces are insane. So I mean, they could do tons of things. We haven't even really seen what courage can really do all the way either.
I mean, I guess we really haven't.
No, we really haven't.
Ganon gets super powerful, but like
Ganon literally shapeshifts into like a wereboar and like goes insane and can like shoot blasts and all sorts of stuff. He can teleport.
Oh,
what's that?
It's we are getting near the half an hour mark, so we are going to take a small little bit of a break. But we will be back before you can click a button that changes it.
Or the skip.
Hey, this is TC,
And this is Jim from the Studio Demands It podcast,
where every episode we take a demand from a hypothetical studio
which could be you,
and challenge ourselves to conceptualize, pitch, and craft a film based on the stipulations
or the demands
we are given. We talk about movies all the time. Particularly, we complain about the choices made in the films we've seen.
We're nerds like that.
And, of course, like any good nerd does, we automatically assume that we could do better.
Even with the demands and restrictions that clearly must have been put on by a production.
So head on over to studiodemandsit.com and listen to our previous library of episodes. Our library of previous episodes. Our precious library, Jim. Our library of precious episodes.
You're a pirate, Smeagol.
Okay. So head on over to studiodemandsit.com to listen to our library of episodes.
And submit your demand for a future episode too.
So go do that.
Okay, bye.
Okay, end of ad.
I believe it's an official time for our first fan fiction sponsor of the show.
Oh my, Dan, I believe you're
Matt,
right.
do you have it in front of you?
I do, actually. It just came in. This is actually from Lon Ranch.
Oh, hey, I've used that product before, time and time again.
Oh, it's delicious.
It's
Let me tell you.
so good.
You put that in a little cereal, it's amazing.
One drop, a whole bowl, and you're
Well,
happy.
Good news, Dan. They came up with a product just for everybody else that can't even digest that sort of
What
stuff.
are you talking about, Matt? Please continue with this bit right now.
Lon Ranch actually came out with a lactose-free milk.
La la la.
La la la. La 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 la.
Lactose-free milk.
Lunch.
It's gonna be great. It's
delicious.
It should be in your nearest Hyrulean hut in the next season or two.
Right. Probably by next Christmas, I would hope.
Any taglines?
Well, they do say with their tagline, we put the hearts in Heartland.
Oh.
And drink your milk.
Hey there, podcast listeners. I am David,
And I'm Kate.
and together we host a podcast that you might be interested in if you like The Legend of Zelda.
There are lots of awesome podcasts out there and a lot of awesome Zelda podcasts out there.
That's right, Kate, and we are another one of them. In fact, that is the name of our show, Another Zelda Podcast.
And in our show in particular, we talk about some of our favorite dungeons, characters, boss battles. We do a couple top 10 lists here and there.
We have some deep dive episodes, and we even pepper in a couple quiz episodes.
We talk about our own experiences. We do some review episodes, talk about our challenges, our struggles, and our victories.
That's right. If it has to do with The Legend of Zelda, we talk about it.
You can check out our episodes on our website, anotherzeldapodcast.com.
You can find us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Podcasts, and a lot of the other podcast services that are out there.
And you can also check out our episodes on our website, anotherzeldapodcast.com.
All right, we will see you there.
Okay, bye.
And we are back. Thank you, everyone, for joining us once again.
To be continued. Oh, wait, no, we're back.
We are back. This is the continued part.
The continuation.
So, Matt, do you have any thoughts, feelings, and emotions about what you want to see in the next game?
Oh, absolutely. Like I said, I really want more. Besides, plot aside, I really just want more dungeons. I miss the old school.
Man, you in these dungeons.
I like going places.
I like going in the ground.
I like dark crevices.
What about sky dungeons or sand dungeons?
I feel like we've already done that.
Okay, so ready? Here's another idea I have for the next game. Okay,
Hit me.
everyone, close your eyes, and
Okay.
unless you're driving.
Correct. Don't close your eyes then.
So the Triforce. How many triangles is that?
Never heard of it.
How many triangles is it?
1, 2, 3.
No, there's 4.
Get right out.
The inside
The upside down triangle.
The upside down triangle. I think that should be like that upside down triangle in the middle of the Triforce should be its own piece that no one talks about
Ever.
like, and it can be some kind of like, we have a brand new character who comes in and it's like the antithesis of all 3,
Okay.
right? Like,
Yeah, that'd be interesting.
I think that's a plot point that could very easily bring in a new character.
It kind of inspires me for another plot point too.
Oh,
So like with the the 3 goddesses that made Hyrule and all that. I don't know if you're familiar with that because you didn't play Twilight Princess, which really touched upon it.
I've been to YouTube. Okay, I know all about stuff.
Anyway,
It's called Wikipedia.
what if one of the goddesses went rogue and the other 2 had to stop him?
What if? Let's combine the 2.
Oh
what
yeah,
if
the 4.
there was actually 4 goddesses
Mhm.
one goddess went rogue, and she's contained by the other 3 in the middle.
Oh, neat.
Right? And so when rogue goddess breaks out, she shatters her prison, which destroys the 3 parts of the Triforce. So therefore, Ganon is powerless, Zelda is powerless, Link is powerless. So,
and that would kind of fit into that thing I was talking about, Suikoden 3, where like you get to choose different perspectives
Yeah.
and their stories could combine.
and there it is.
Boom.
That's the big tie-in.
Ba-boom.
We are now playing 3 different characters who have to find a way to work together that have
Right.
essentially hated each other since the beginning of time. Well, 2 versus
Right.
1. Because now there is the new big baddie who's taking over everything.
Mhm.
So, Matt, here's the question.
I like
How do you repair a broken Triforce?
Well, you got to get your triceps together.
Shut up. I'm so mad at you right now. As long as you don't do like, it's like, oh, we had it in us the entire
was gonna
time.
say,
I
just
refuse to have that as
Please, just don't do what like a lot of genres do. Like another popular storyline that's been going on, Magic the Gathering. As you
Okay.
know, I play it very often. One of their storylines.
I've only played once.
Right. There's storylines all over the place, but one of them was like when they first got the Justice League, their Justice League, they call it
Oh,
the
that's like,
Justice
wow.
League. For all you Magic players out there, you know what I'm talking about. They brought the pretty much the power of friendship together to stop like a big baddie one time, and it was
Get out of here.
it was disappointing. Everybody
They
just
brought the power of friendship together.
it felt like a very I mean I'm kind of boiling it down, but like it felt like a very Captain Planet episode where everybody just combined their powers, and I was
Yeah.
like, don't do that. I don't want to see like them like use the power of them coming together. Like do something more specific for each character.
Like
to
there should
help.
be actions that you have to do and just not understand
Right.
each other.
Like somebody needs to do this for this person to do this, not just we all showed up at the same time and touched hands and now
Well,
we're cool.
And there's so many different like items from the like history of the
Right,
Zelda
such as the
universe. Like,
magic candle
yeah, the magic
and
candle. But
the
like,
ladder.
But like, think about what if you really like did a deep dive into all these games and brought out all of these. What if like so the magic sword from the first one,
Ooh,
you had to
yeah.
pull magic from that. What if you had to pull magic from what are some what are the 3 gems that you have to use in Ocarina of Time in order to remember? There's one in the
Oh,
Jabba
yeah,
Jabba's
yeah,
belly.
yeah. I
There's
know what
one
you're
like
talking
the
about.
fight. There's 3 gems that essentially you have
Yep.
to collect in order to move on. But like, what if you
Man,
have
I
to,
forgot about
What
those.
if you have to go and find those 3 gems and
Or
derive
like
the magic? Like,
yeah,
you have to derive the magic from
certain
all of
items
these
throughout,
magical
like the
items.
mirror from like A Link to the Past, or like
I mean, you could
different thing. The magic pearl, I think,
I
was
mean,
also in
you
the
could
Link to the
have a
Past.
really,
yeah, I
like-
got all these magic items,
like a game that brings all the games together,
or at least
which-
does little nice Easter eggs for everything. Yeah,
I know, but what if Zelda did that? What if they
Yeah.
made a game that officially references every single game
Oof.
and tries to really bring everything together? I know. it's a bit like-
so a very Spider-Man Welcome Home.
you know,
type
I was
thing.
thinking like into
Or
the
Spider-Verse,
Spider-Verse.
yeah.
You know, like
They really need to start mending some of these
because
like continuity errors and stuff. so.
because how do you continue the franchise? Like, do you just keep making new games and then just be like, okay, this is a news that like.
well, I think as I've said before,
I think the fans
yeah.
want something a little bit more.
I think a lot of the hardcore fans do, yeah, and not to mention like it's like the creator said like they really make the games first and the story second, and that's kind of sad because the story it has a lot to it and there's a lot of cool things to it, but like yeah, the fact that the timeline's so just broken up and all over the place is kind of annoying
Like,
sometimes.
and it's so complicated.
it's so
like, do you-
complicated.
Do you think it needs a retcon?
Oh man,
Like,
I don't know if you can at this point.
Do you think there needs to be like a reset button for the Zelda universe? I mean, of course, it's not going to undo necessarily everything because the games still exist. We'll always have this timeline. but,
Right.
like, do you think that we need to go to the end of the timeline, make a clean break, and start fresh? Is that?
I
would
think
you want that?
I would love it. I don't know how many people would love it though. It's one of those things I feel like Nintendo should do a poll. Like online and be like, hey, so if we did this, what would you guys do?
Like killing Jason Todd, and
Right,
like,
yeah.
It's like, hey kids, we
Like what
don't.
DC did with that, yeah. Hey, how do you really or like how Mega Man used to do like, can you guys like make villains for us? Here's a cool little thing. Because they used to do like Nintendo Power magazine things like build your own villain, kiddies, and they threw them in the game.
Wait, they actually threw the.
Why do you think we have like Dust Man and Top Man, Dan?
I'm sure somebody had
Because
allergies, and maybe a
children
Jewish
made them.
person was in charge of these.
Children made them.
Shut up! Really?
Dead serious. The first couple
Well,
batch. I don't know if it's all
I
of them.
don't know if that's super cool or super lame.
I think it's kind of cool.
I think I'm leaning toward cool.
I think once I found out, I was like, I'm not so mad anymore that I have to
Yeah.
fight, Top Man and like
because it makes me feel a lot better. There wasn't like a 45-year-old guy
or
going
Dive
like,
Man
got
or
it,
Hard
guys.
Man.
Everyone,
Yeah.
I got the new villain, Dust Man.
Right.
Like, I know. Okay.
And don't get me wrong, Dustman's got some killer tunes on his level and all, but like
Wait,
well,
Dust Man has killer tunes.
his theme song for his level is great. But anyway, that's a different genre. We'll get to that.
First of all, I love getting Matt to talk about the soundtrack of Mega Man. Like, there's seconds where you can see he just wants to go on like a 20-minute tangent, but he's like, no one cares about
Remind
this.
me,
Bring it back.
So I think for one of our bonus things, actually, my brother Joseph and I, when we're working together, sometimes I'll have him play, or we'll do it together. We'll just randomly play one of the songs from the games on our phone and be like, name the tune.
Oh, you guys play Name the Tune with a Mega Man blips and chips?
You sure can.
Nerds.
Oh, it's great.
Straight up nerds. Okay, so let's then move on to weapons.
What about them?
Well, I mean, why?
Are you sick of the Master Sword? Did you hear that, everybody? He's sick of the Master Sword.
I mean, I'm not sick of the Master Sword because, I mean, clearly we're always going to stay in fantasy. It's not like we're going to have Hyrule
Pistols.
2029, and have dual wielding or anything like that. And
Boy, did we touch on steampunk, though. We got there.
yeah.
That camel.
Ugh.
That Boyd.
It's the new DLC for Cyberpunk 2099. Like,
Oh, I wish. That would have been great.
did you ever play that one?
I dabbled a little.
Really?
I didn't really get too
Did you
far.
buy it?
No. My brother did.
Okay.
I just piggybacked off his and
Sure,
just
sure,
made
sure.
a character real quick and tee-heed my way for like the first 10 minutes.
I thought about buying it. Not that, and
It's an
this is supposed to be
interesting,
a Zelda game or podcast, but like I want to buy it now that like no one's playing it. You know what I mean? Like now that the pressure's off and it's
Right. It's kind of how I felt about Breath of the Wild. Once the pressure died down, I'm like,
Yeah.
I don't want to play it because it's popular.
Yeah,
But then I was
Yeah.
like, okay, it was pretty
because they
awesome.
spent a lot of time on it, so maybe it deserves it. Anyways, but like I don't know. I kind of want a combat change because like hack and slashes are fun, but hack and slashes to me get
Sir?
a tad on the boring side.
Sir,
Yeah.
you're talking to a diehard Dynasty Warriors fan right now.
Is that a hack and that's hack and slash, right? Aren't you on a horse
honey.
just like literally
Not the
mowing,
entire time.
mowing through like people left and right?
You are killing like thousands of people.
Yeah.
Right. And it's not always on a horse. You have to earn that horse.
Sometimes it's on an elephant.
So, actually, yeah. It
Shut
is. No, it's dead serious. You didn't know that?
No, I
Did
didn't.
you? Wait,
But I'm not
did
surprised.
you really not know that?
No, you can
wow,
be on
good guess, though.
Man, you have to have a long sword to try and kill people from the top of an elephant.
Oh, no, the elephant does it for you. You just stomp around.
Oh, well, that
makes sense,
that
yeah.
checks out. That checks
I mean,
out.
you do go to like India because that's part of the southern where the. Anyway,
Mhm.
it's part of the story. But
And like,
I'm not going to spoil it.
And I definitely don't want to introduce guns because that's ridiculous and stupid. I'm
yeah,
already
guns would be
mad
too
that I even
much.
said that sentence. But like, I don't know. Like, how do you make the combat a little bit more intriguing?
I mean,
So-
I think they tried to do it with the Wii with like you actually like having to pull the bow back and things
Yeah.
like that. But like,
But let's be honest, that was because the Wii had the motion sensor and they were
Right.
trying to make the console more relevant.
mhm.
It wasn't for the game.
No,
it was
it's-
for the console.
It's because they love to be innovative
Yeah.
and stuff. And
And I think with Breath of the Wild, there was a lot more countering and like jump back, and then you could do
Yeah.
like the super stab stuff. So they brought timing in a little bit more. But like, how would you update?
I got you.
Throw it at me.
So as far as combat goes, you know what would be really interesting to do? Instead of just like, they'll never do it because, this game's more geared toward a younger audience always.
I don't know. I don't
With
think
the
Zelda's
gameplay?
geared toward younger people anymore.
You don't think so?
No.
I feel like it kind of is.
Because
certain
I think they've
times.
taken a split, and I want to get back to what you're saying, but like, look at the remake of
I'll put a
Link's
pin in it.
Awakening with the giant, like, that definitely went toward kids.
Right.
They have a cartoonier, sillier.
Well, and even like gameplay, it wasn't super hard, but like it was decent skill level to where you had to, at least pay attention.
Yeah.
But like, what I was thinking though, like, let's just, if we're gonna go that route, I mean, Breath of the Wild for the most part was pretty easy. I mean, exception for those, centaurs and stuff.
I ran every time.
Oh,
I've-
man.
In
I
the-
u-
my entire
yeah.
life, I have never killed one of them.
Really?
Ever. No. Never.
I'm not gonna lie. They probably killed me about a good 10 to 15
The
times.
Lionels?
The Lionels,
Yep.
yes.
I bought the mask. First thing I did.
What?
Like, because I'm not gonna fight those things.
Let me tell you, man. Once you figure out
Even
their strategy,
when you
it's
run,
not so
they
bad.
make lightning rain down from the sky and you die.
See, this is why
Done.
you should have played Bloodborne
They're
more.
basically gods walking around, and I just have no intent of dying.
Man,
that
now
way.
see, this is so.
There was one. There's a coliseum that you find eventually.
yeah.
And there's
I found
one
that
just
one.
hanging out.
It's
Like,
great.
Nope. Mm-mm.
But that's the thing. It's just like
uncharted territory.
But see, Dan, it's just like the Souls games you refuse to play, like Bloodborne and Dark Souls and
I
stuff.
don't refuse to play them. I just get so mad I never want to play them. It's not refusal. It's just my blood pressure won't let me play it.
But that's the beauty of it. Like you're supposed to die. You're supposed to let the suck.
Like playing those games, the Bloodborns. So if you ever see my Super Nintendo controllers from home,
Yeah.
there are bite marks like in them because I couldn't throw it
Because
because
you
I
got hungry.
No, because I
Oh.
couldn't like damage anything. So like, how do I take out my aggression? I used to just bite it. I was like, "Ugh."
That
So,
is some
like,
case study stuff if I ever heard
yeah,
it.
it's not healthy.
Man,
And
where's
my
all the
teeth are doing
psychologists?
great right now. By
Is
the
there
way, thanks for
psychologists
asking.
listening? Because we
But like, you can see like just straight like my bite marks on them.
good lord, man.
Yeah, everyone deals with rage in their own way.
But the beauty about those games though is you're supposed to die until you get it. That's what they call getting good, man.
I don't
Because
know.
once you figure out how those Lionels work,
but
cakewalk.
but for me, like video games are an escape, and if I'm getting
yeah.
super pissed off, then the video game is failing
Man.
at what it's supposed to be doing.
But I think there's I don't know. I find fun in the challenge because like that first
No,
one
I believe in finding fun in
Yeah.
the challenge, but if I'm ever like Bloodborne and Demon Souls, if I'm getting so mad, like then this.
Oh
isn't
no,
fun.
I don't get mad at it.
Okay.
I get like, oh no, I get like that deadpan like, oh no, I'm gonna keep going till I'm done.
So I want to take a pause here for all listeners. Matt McQueen, there's one moment that I would like to bring, and this will be brought up next episode where we talk about, spoiler, Mass Effect is coming up next. And I remember being,
that was an unfair fight. That was
I remember being in your house in your brother's room.
Yeah.
You were playing Mass Effect, and it's the lair of the Rachni Queen.
Yep.
And you have to run in, and it's
I
like
remember
it's
exactly what
basically
you're
a
talking about.
square-based room, and you get like all these people flooding in from all the
yeah.
side. I have never seen anyone rage out
that did make me
so
rage.
hard that like
That one did make me rage.
and Matt also, and this is for the fans, Matt has a trigger word or a phrase that if you really ever want to make him super mad, all you have to do is like when he's not doing well in a video game, and I'm really spoiling some real intense stuff here right now, just look and be like, do you want me to do it? Oh my gosh. He was like just getting mowed down by these people. And I remember his brother.
I got a weird twinge when you just said it there.
I remember his brother looked at him.
It's not even you, it's my brother. who
Yeah,
says
no,
it.
it was Joe. It was
It's
without
a sibling thing.
It was a sibling thing. And Joe looked at him and said, do you want me to do it for you? Matt kicked me out of the house. Matt said, Dan, leave. And I was like, I didn't say anything. He was so pissed. He kicked me out of his house. And I just kind of walked home after that.
There was something where it kept hitting me and I couldn't.
Oh, no,
was,
it's
like,
because they have
knocking me down.
biotics. So
Yeah,
you
that's
come
what it
in and then
was.
instantly you're knocked down.
Right.
And then they flood left and right.
That was the part that made me mad. Is like I get an instant
But
knockdown.
this is
Yeah.
next week.
Yeah. Anyway, I'm gonna come back to that Rachni Queen.
Oh, yeah.
But no, back to the Lionel though.
Yeah.
The first one that really stomped me was that one in the valley. Like I think it's like the southwest part of the map.
Sure.
It's like a green valley. It's like a canyon.
Well, they make you run into one because you have to get like electric arrows from
Right.
the tree.
See, so the game was like, Matt, go that way. Go learn how to play. And I'm like, no, I'm gonna go southwest to the Gerudo
Okay.
Valley. I went to the Gerudo Valley first.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I wasn't supposed to.
Oh, you got to go Zora's Domain first.
Didn't know that. Well, actually, when I,
I mean,
first
her thing that she gives you, her like bonus in that
Yeah.
game is like,
it's amazing.
OP.
Oh, it's
like,
OP.
Yeah. It's
But,
the
like,
best thing you get in the whole
Nobody
game.
told me that, and like I had just because I was playing your copy, and like Joe was with me, and he goes, "Hey, I'm just gonna pick a part of the map. You go to it." And Joe had previous
That's a
knowledge.
fun. That's fun.
Yeah,
can
I
get
was like,
behind
you
that.
know what? Fine. So, and I'm a Souls player. I'm like, yeah, I could take it. I get to that first valley with the Lionel. I'm like, what was that? 'Cause
Oh, yeah.
everything up to that has been cake, and then all of a sudden, like this dude just stomps me into the ground. I'm like, what?
Oh God.
And then, funny enough, Joe's like, go straight up here, and I ran right into Ganon's castle, or Hyrule Castle.
You would now.
Actually, I did pretty well, Dan. I'll have you know, I got to the third phase in that fight with Ganon in the very beginning with nothing.
I was gonna say, I think if you
And then he killed me.
because you have to get the what's it
The
called?
hang glider.
The hang glider.
Yeah.
But after that, I think you can run right into the castle and fight Ganon.
You
right then and
absolutely
there.
can, because that's what I did. And I
You
made
Dark Soul people. I just don't understand you.
Oh, don't get me wrong. After like the third phase, I was like, I don't know what to do here. So I just went back to normally playing the game.
Like, I just don't understand you and your kind. It
Also,
just doesn't make any sense
Back
to
to
me.
the hang glider thing. Did you get fooled at all by the king being the ghost guy in the beginning? Spoiler alert.
I
First
didn't
10-minute
care.
spoiler. I didn't
mean,
care.
like,
That
he's
was
like-
such a weak plot point, though. Like,
I mean, but it's so early. Can you even call it a plot point? Because it's like instantly revealed before you even get to the rest of the map.
I don't know. It's just such a weak moment in the story, and I'm like, really? That's your
But,
like? I'm the king, and I'm like, really?
like,
Because I saw it coming
You
like a
gotta
mile
realize
away.
This was revealed in like the first 5% of the game.
I know, and it's. I
So-
just wish it wasn't the king. I wish it was just a regular sage or something. Because
I
they
mean-
kind of pick up and drop that sage thing all the time in the maidens, and
Yeah.
I wish that was a bigger plot point in the games, because it's such a cool concept to have like an ancestry line of these like wise people and stuff, and then like you just kind of willy nilly drop them here and there.
Fun fact, and if you guys have ever heard me on AZP, I've mentioned this once or twice before.
He's famous.
Yeah, super famous. I have never cooked anything because I completely missed the tutorial on how to cook
Are
anything.
you serious?
Yeah, apparently he, like the guy you're talking about, the kid,
Yeah.
is standing by a fire at some
Yeah.
point, and I saw him and I was like, don't trust that guy. And I just ran on past him.
Clearly a decoy.
Clearly a demon. And so apparently that's the tutorial, and I did a plot point that moved him on.
Oh my god.
And so there's like, people are like, oh, well, do you know how to cook stuff? I was like, you can cook in this game?
Dude, cooking's like a great part of that game.
And the only good thing about cooking is the sound effects.
Oh, I forgot. Yeah, the sound effects are
It's like they
Oh.
hired the Ferris Bueller people to do it for them.
good. Kinda.
Like,
Also, I think one of my favorite parts of that game too is like when you go like mountain climbing and it's like a frozen. I didn't realize temperature was a thing.
oh yeah.
So I go to like I'd be like freezing. I'm like, no, I'm gonna make it. I'm gonna make it. I don't care how many hearts I lose. Just keep going, you loser.
And like, don't you hate it when you're playing a video game and like you love something but hate at the same time? Like, so it's raining and you're climbing a mountain and you only go up. You
Oh.
go up 3 and drop 4, and you're like, oh, that's so
Man,
awesome.
yeah.
But it's so annoying. Like,
The minute I found the rain made it like slick, I was like,
I was
are you
like-
kidding me?
I was like, this is genius, and I hate it.
oh, absolutely. I had the same
Ugh.
reaction. I'm like, that's creative and clever. But
Or like you're
Hmm.
running through the field, and all of a sudden, why does the lightning keep hitting me? And you're like, I'm wearing a metal shield and a metal sword.
that,
like
when
you're
I
like,
finally realized that,
makes
that was
sense.
that was probably my favorite part of the game, is just the
And, like,
realistic aspects.
well, and like, yeah, playing that game and you run into all these things and you're like, oh, this is great. It's annoying as all hell. But like,
but man,
but
does
it
it make
makes
sense.
that's the flavor. That's
Oh,
the
the flavor's
spice
delicious.
that Nintendo can keep sprinkling on a
All of
kind of
them, yeah.
tried out story
Right.
that keeps it great. Like, but what if you kept that spice? You kept that flavor, but the actual story had some real
Mhm.
meat and potatoes and new stuff to it. You
And
know?
like I said, they're kind of doing that with Breath of the Wild, because Breath of the Wild has the sequel coming out, and then Hyrule Warriors kind of plays into that. So it's kind of like their first steps into actual continuity, and I love it.
You think it's their for this universe,
For the-
right? For this universe, yeah.
Well, I mean, like I said, they kind of did with the original Zelda and The Adventures of Link, the most majestic and amazing
Okay,
game entry into the series.
okay.
Fight me in real life.
Catch me outside. See
Catch
what
me at
happens.
Parappa Palace.
Talk some smash about Zelda 2. I don't know.
Just what a Shadow Link would say.
Oh, what if you got to play? What if you play as Shadow Link?
I could see it.
Okay, Matt, pitch me.
It'd be interesting.
And like, it wouldn't be the full game,
So
but where does Shadow Link come from?
So if I were to do a Shadow Link game, let me just spitball here. Obviously, be working for the bad guys,
Okay.
because Dark Link loves to just, I don't know, stab at you for some reason. They don't really go into
What if-
detail on it.
Okay. What if Shadow Link he doesn't even understand what's happening?
Oh,
Every time you see Shadow Link, he's freshly created, and somebody
Um,
comes and attacks him.
what you could do is you could easily tie in the Twilight Realm to that,
Okay.
because they deal with like
Ooh,
the shadow,
I
the
think
darker
that's-
stuff. Also, what the first thing that popped in my head was like, what if it's a Poe? What if it's just one of those ghosts? What if it's just one of the ghost villains just pretending to be Link,
Okay.
like in a
All
shadow
right.
form.
I see you,
Right.
Matt McQueen.
And then
I see you.
Pose naturally are just kind of like, honestly, they're kind of neutral. They're just ghosts. You could go any route with that. Or we can go even weirder and make it like a Majora type character where it's just this weird little prankster.
Oh, I mean, okay. So in Twilight Princess,
Or I
which
guess
you
more
put
of a
as
Skull Kid.
in Twilight Princess, which you put as your top 3, right?
Yeah, I would say it's my third place.
It's your third one?
It's my bronze medal.
So I haven't played it, so I'm looking for a little bit of information. Can you talk to a little bit about what the Shadow Universe is? The Shadow Realm?
Oh, it's been a while. The Twilight Realm is kind of like,
Is it like the Upside Down from Stranger Things? It's like kind of a realm, but
You know,
a little spookier.
honestly, I think it is. It has something to do with like the goddesses and stuff, and like I think it actually has more to do with what you were referring to in the very beginning of this, with like the fourth Triforce type thing.
Mhm.
It kind of has some. I can't remember because it's been like years since I played it, but like it has something to do with all that.
Okay,
And I'm sure everybody's bashing their keyboards like, well, it's this, Matt, and that's fine.
that's fine.
I get it.
Wait,
But
so
like-
they've already done something with the Upside Down Triforce?
Yes and no.
Oh, I was so proud of myself.
No, but they haven't really done it into the detail you were like describing, where like there's a fourth goddess and stuff. I don't think that's really the thing. But I think, if I remember correctly, the Twilight Realm is essentially what Hyrule used as like a prison realm almost.
What if it's not a fourth triangle, but it's the gateway to the Shadow Realm? And like for some odd reason, they all have to team up to get to the Shadow Realm for some reason.
Well, I think that's
I'm
exactly
still
what
spitballing
Twilight
stories.
Princess. Yeah, I think that's actually the Twilight Princess thing.
Is it really?
Yeah.
I need to play that game because
need to really play it.
I'm
It's
not
really good.
nearly as original as I thought I was.
Because, like I
That's the
said, I
story.
think it's pretty much their prison realm that Hyrule used, and like
a
this
prison realm.
so
They needed
essentially-
a whole realm of prisons.
Well, they used a bunch of sages to send Ganon to the Twilight Realm
Okay,
to banish him, but he ended up killing a few of them on his way in, and like
as we do,
and then he like, spoiler alerts, but like
the game came out like 20 years ago.
20
like-
years spoiler alerts.
Yeah, 20 years. Also, Bruce Willis is dead at the end of Sixth Sense. Just to
All
give
right,
you
well,
a
I'm
heads
gonna
up.
leave if you're just gonna keep spoiling movies like that.
Remember, this is going to come out with in like March. What else can we spoil?
I think
right
you
now?
should go. And that's a wrap, everybody.
Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield that are in Spider-Man: No Way From Home.
Oh my goodness!
And this sounds silly, but like that movie came out 2 days ago. Now.
In case you want to date this episode.
Yeah, just in case.
But no, pretty much they were touching upon what they were thinking about the Twilight Realm and stuff. It's kind of hard to describe because it's been a while and I forget a lot of the major pieces. But like, essentially, it's kind of like the dark side of things and blah blah blah.
Yeah.
And they have a whole kingdom and stuff, and it's really cool. And I
So-
wish they would delve more into it. But
We are-
easily you could do like a Shadow Link thing or a Poe with that. And
Okay, let's bring this whole conversation to a head. Okay.
okay,
So we have created a new Zelda game, right?
Mhm.
Out of everything we've taken today or talked about today. So multiple playable characters.
correct.
So
First and foremost,
first and foremost.
I would
So which one
love
do we
multiple
like? Do we like there is a upside down Zelda piece, or do we like that the
I kind of like your idea more with like we just need to find a bigger baddie, whether it's a goddess, whether it's a new like land or kingdom, because they've done numerous kingdoms before besides Hyrule and stuff.
Yeah.
You could easily add a kingdom we've never heard of, come up and try something,
Mhm.
or make it one of the friendly kingdoms. Like the Zoras are finally sick of everything, and I just But yeah, we need a new big baddie that everybody needs to kind of because I'm so tired
what
of
if
killing
what
Ganon.
if what if we just make the Triforce the villain?
Oh,
Because, like, again, absolute power corrupts absolutely, which we think only pertains to the power.
mm-hmm.
But, like, ultimate knowledge can be corrupting.
Or
Too much courage can be corrupting. What if, like, at the end of the game, like, they've decided that no one should have these 3 pieces? And, like, I don't know.
and the
Some-
goddesses get mad and like send
the
their
goddesses
minions
get
to stop
mad, and then
them.
all of a sudden, maybe the moral of the story is the goddesses realize that the people of this planet of Hyrule are right, and
Right.
no one deserves to have this much power. So they take their get out of Dodge.
Yeah. I mean, they kind of do a little bit with the take your stuff and go stuff, but like, yeah, I mean, you're kind of talking about the Golden Land and all that with like A Link to the
What's
Past.
the Golden Land?
Essentially, where like the Triforce lives and stuff, and
Oh.
like, but it's funny that you mentioned that because like they don't ever really touch upon it. You never really see it. You see a little bit like in the manual in the game, like the book.
What
where it's-
game?
A Link to the Past.
Oh, okay.
Like in some other games too, they touch upon it a little bit.
Okay.
But like, you never really get to see like the world building aspects of the actual universes. I mean, we get a bunch of timelines and like different weird stories, but yeah.
And even out of all this, Matt, we didn't even get to talk to, again, I mentioned it before, but I think there should be a game that is Legends of Zelda, but Harvest Moon. Like, you should be able to play a farmer.
Farm Simulator Link.
I think it'd be great. What if Animal Crossing meets Zelda?
I think you got a gold mine right there.
I would play that game nonstop.
Absolutely.
And all of a sudden, like, just like the bird people walk up and they're like,
The
"Oh,
pitch
hey."
would be, you ever wanted to farm on Death Mountain?
Yeah. You ever want to grow rocks with rock people? Do I have a game for you? You
I
ever
think it'd be
think
great.
You ever think sand seals are just the coolest?
You
Why
want
don't
a
you make
whole-
one your neighbor?
You want a whole ranch of them?
Do you think you could sell milk better than
That's the mini game. You got to
14-year-old
outsell.
redhead?
The mini game is you're up in a market against Lon Ranch, and you have to like outsell the guy. Like, hold
It's
on,
like a
second.
marketing game.
Yeah,
like,
excuse me, sir. Have you tried my milk? It's fresh from the sea lions, the sand lions.
what's your milk called? It's Don milk.
Don
Milk is better than Lon milk. Alphabetically, we're far superior.
The Dongo milk.
Ooh,
Well, that's one of the villains.
Dongo milk?
The Dongo.
I know, but like, who's milking it is the question.
Clearly, Link's milking it. I mean, he's killed one, and sure, he can milk it.
He killed it and then milks it. And
Well, no, he would kill. I mean, he just grows them. It's a ranch.
all right, cool kids. I
Oh,
think
is it that time?
I think that's it.
Now is the time. Now is the best time.
Thank you guys
Yeah,
first of all so much for
Thanks,
staying
everybody,
with us
for-
this
yeah.
entire time. We
Yeah.
did it.
We did it.
This has been episode 1.
And I think we threw a lot of good ideas out there.
And first of all, I just want everyone to know we have copyrighted every single
Absolutely.
idea.
Everything is TM. Oh, we forgot to say TM after everything.
We'll edit
Next
it.
time,
Post, put it in post.
Yeah.
Um,
Editor.
but thank you guys so much for hanging out with us for the
Absolutely.
past hour.
Great time.
Next week or whenever this comes out next is going to be Mass Effect.
Massive. I never heard of that one. What is
Yeah.
that? I think it's about C?
And I think it's going to be about 9 hours
Chemistry?
long because I have 9 hours worth of Mass Effect material I would love to talk about.
Oh, yeah. He's going to be talking the majority of the next
Oh
one.
my
Don't
God, I
worry.
can't
We're
wait.
going to switch up who talks a lot.
But thank you guys, like I said, so much for hanging out with us. My name is Dan McCoy. I am on Facebook. I know we do have a Twitter handle that is going to be created for our show Fan Fiction. So if you are a big fan, please jump on that and join, subscribe.
You
like,
got to
and
smash
join.
the bell and touch
Just
the
smash-
like.
If you see the buttons, just hit your keyboard until you see a thumbs up.
A good face roll.
Just
pretend you're
just hit it
pretend
all.
you're playing Hunter in World of Warcraft and
And
just
Matt,
roll that
as of
face.
now, you don't have a Facebook.
I do. I do, but it's more for friends and family. I mean,
Oh.
you can get to that level, but you know,
I
it takes a
mean,
lot of flattery.
Matt, they are all our friends now.
Are they?
Yes.
Just tell me I'm
You're in a
pretty.
safe space, Matt.
If you tell me
Everyone
you're-
here is friends.
You send me a message and say I'm pretty, I'll go ahead and friend.
That's true. So just
I'm easy.
if you're gonna try and friend request Matt, call him pretty. Send like maybe a credit card information, your mother's maiden name,
Your best
the street you were
drawing
born
of a Mega
on,
Man character.
your name of your first pet. Just like fun get to know each other
Right.
kind of thing.
Just
you know?
little things like what was your teacher in high school's first name?
Exactly. But again, thank you guys for sticking with us.
Absolutely wonderful time.
And hey, we'll see y'all next week, right?
I would imagine, yeah.
All right. Good night, everybody.
Goodbye.